Welcome to Boomer Bongo Boulevard. This is our second season, first episode of the second season, and whoever knew we would get this far on so few viewers. I'm Mike, along with me, my brother Ron, and we just talk about things that boomers might or might not be interested in, but things that we're interested in. And today, Ron, we're talking about footwear because boomers, I thought about this and I was like, why did this appeal to me? Why did this seem like a boomer topic? You know why it is? The boomers, I think, honestly, we were the first generation that could afford all kinds of shoes. Back in the old days,
probably so.
Coming out of the Depression, people had one or two pair of shoes, if they had shoes, depending on what part of the country you lived in. And some people didn't have shoes except to wear to church. And then, after World War II, the economy took off, and something none of us are too familiar with now here lately, but the economy took off and money became more abundant. And next thing you know, people had closets full of shoes because, honestly, it really is important to have the right shoe for the right occasion. Sometimes feels almost essential sometimes. But anyway, what's the first pair of shoes you brought along to show that maybe have a story to them?
Not necessarily. Well, these actually have a story. They're not being used anymore, but I thought of these at the last minute. These are, I still have my old track shoes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow. With those, I don't even think they make those kind of spikes anymore, those disc spikes.
Really?
Yeah, they're round with the spike coming out. Yeah, now they're just basic spikes that have nothing.
I even had the illegal 7th spike.
Well, they're not. That's not even a thing anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody much wears spikes anymore, do they or not? I don't know.
Well, those disc spikes, they were great because they were easy to take out. They've got two little holes in them, right?
Yeah.
Flip them over where we can see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hold it close.
Two little holes. Yeah.
Two little holes, and you could drop a little two-pronged spike wrench in there and twist them off real easy and tighten them up real easy. And now it's just a spike. I didn't know you were going to bring that, but I would have brought anybody.
Now, originally, these had just a spike, but I've turned to the disc spikes because I like it better.
Right.
Because the regular spikes got stuck in there too easily.
Right. And I think they got away from those spikes because they probably just cost too much. There's a lot more metal involved. And I mean, maybe they still make them, but I haven't seen them anewhere.
Actually, here, the 7th spike, it's not really illegal. I got a dummy spike in there.
Right.
And the rest of them are,
I think they got rid of that rule, or they certainly don't enforce it anymore. So. All right, track spikes. Stuff. Of course, believe it or not, Ron was a track runner and a track star in high school. And now he would be 2 track runners. There's so much of it.
Oh, would.
You'd be hit by a machine. Hey, you know what I brought?
For the track season, I only weighed about 140 pounds. I dropped 30 pounds from my 170 football weight, and I weigh a lot more than that now. But.
Man, that's what your foot weighs now.
That's right.
Like I got room to talk. Originally, this podcast, YouTube channel, whatever it's morphed into, was called Coffee and Slippers, and maybe my favorite piece of footwear, my slippers.
Oh, I like those.
Oh, man, these are great. I've had these for a long time. LL Bean, and they're called Wicked. There's a whole line of slippers at LL Bean. They call them Wicked Comfortable or Wicked Soft or something like that. And listen, you put these on, it's the only thing I could think to compare it to is probably heroin. Not that I've ever had heroin, but heroin's got to be like this. And you just slip them on and you feel absolutely great. Plus, being boomers, we're older, and older people come to value their feet much more. Like, I like really good socks. I've said that before on this podcast, and I like anything that babies my feet, and these babies baby my feet, and I put some miles on them, and I'll get a new pair. Kind of dirty on the bottom, but what do you got? Your turn.
Okay, let's see. Let's go with here's an oldie but a goodie. This actually this is a copy of shoe I had in the 80s when I was in college. It's the old classic white Reebok.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't even
but
know
it's
they.
not. But this is an old one. This is one I got new a few years ago. I found it online and ordered it because I
That
wanted another
was.
pair of them. The good old classic Reebok.
At one
Because
point,
I
you
like
could.
plain white shoes.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you couldn't. You at one point you couldn't be cool unless you had a pair of those.
Yeah.
It was impossible. Hey, you
I
know how
tell
to
you what,
clean?
I wore the heck out of mine. I absolutely did. I mean, I wore those things warm and warm and warm. The only complaint I got with these is they're not as soft as mine as I remember mine being.
Yeah.
Mine were really, I mean, they were really soft and
You know,
supple, as I like to say.
if you want to shine those up and really make them look super good,
Yeah,
those what is it, Mr. Clean? Those white
yeah.
clean pads
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
white.
yeah. I
Oh,
have those.
oh,
Yeah.
it'll dress. You got to try that. It'll dress them
Wow.
up. At least that's what I hear.
Well,
What
an
can I
old
say?
I clean shoes and baseball caps usually with. I save my old toothbrushes when I'm done with them. It just
Right.
takes clean stuff real well.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah,
I say toothbrushes too. They're great for.
yeah,
Just don't get them mixed up with your regular toothbrush, or you'll be
yeah.
brushing your teeth with something that, or some little kid. You know, as we both have grandkids running around our houses, will end up going. I can use this
My
this one.
brushes are usually pretty much destroyed by the time I put them in that rotation.
Hey, I'm on a theme here. After the topsiders, which I'm sorry, after the slippers I just showed you, this is my go-to every day
Yeah,
pair of Sperry topsiders, which I don't know how old they are, but you can kind of tell they're like jeans. What I like about Sperry
yeah.
topsiders is the older they get, the better they look,
Well,
or
see,
at least they do to me.
I almost brought my Sperry's in here. I bought some brand. I have some that look like I've only worn them about 3 or 4 times. They're like brand
Right.
new out of the box. They're still sitting back there in the box. I've worn them
Yeah.
some few times, but that was one of my go-tos in college. That was the other go-to. I wore mine. I probably wore those more than I wore anything. I didn't even wear
Well,
socks with them back then. They were almost like slippers. They were always sitting right by the
right.
bed. And, you know, if you got up hungover and had to go run to class, that was my shoes, man.
Well, they got the feel of flip flops,
Yeah,
but they cover your ugly toes or my
yeah.
ugly toes. Or I just hate looking at people's ugly toes. So,
Oh, I do too.
so cover them up and just get you some Sperry's. Now this will run you some money. These will run you some money, obviously, but
Yeah.
and I'll tell you a shoe that's very similar to the Sperry Topsider is a shoe brand called Sebago, Sebago. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I
Yep.
got a pair of those that lasted me, and I wore them almost every day
Mm-hmm.
for 12 or 14 years. They're very durable. They're actually athletic shoes. They're made for boating. They have a
Mm-hmm.
bottom on them that has a ripple that grips a boat deck or any
Yeah.
slippery surface. So they're pretty safe.
Yeah.
Uh, they're not substantial, but they're they're a really good go-to shoe. I won't say they look good because a lot of people think they don't. And I don't think they look that great either. But they're so ugly, they're cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I think about it. Your turn to go with something.
Okay.
What do you got?
Now these aren't my actual work boots. These are my extra boots because I like boots. These are my
Right.
ones that look good with my jeans or whatever. But these are like this type boot I wear for work.
Oh,
The
I've
ones
seen
I
you
wear
wear
for
those.
work generally are Reeboks. These particular ones aren't Reeboks, but they look exactly like my Reeboks. These
Uh-huh.
are what are they? They're I can't even read it. Nortiva.
Right.
It's just like some regular brand, but anyway, they're really nice boots. Now my Reeboks have steel toe; these do not, but they're the military style boots. You know, with I never have to tie them; they just zip.
Right.
You know, I tie them one time
Well,
and that's it.
those are the ones I've seen you wear in your gardening videos.
Yeah, that's another pair of those I can see, and this is what I do with my old boots. Is here's the procedure. I've had like I don't know, about 7 or 8 pair of those.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what I do is when I have the brand new ones I get for work, which these are not the work ones, like I said,
Right.
these are regular brand. But anyway, I get the brand new ones for work, so the ones I replace become the garden boots.
Ah.
Yeah. and that's what they stay. They'll sit outside most of the year. And then when I replace that pair, when there gets to be 3 pair, there's never 3 pair. The pair that's outside, garbage can. The ones that don't go outside, the new ones become the
Just
work
got a
boots,
rotation.
and it continues onward. But yeah, I love boots. They're really comfortable. They keep my knees from hurting and ankles. And now you were talking about being concerned with comfort and stuff like this. Now here's something I went back to. It's I wear these, and this is my orthotics I had to get.
Of course.
It's very important to people in our age group.
Waving.
That's an arch support there. And I'd been having problems with bone spurs and things like that. And these took care of it.
That's the cure.
And, I started wearing these, and my pain went away.
And why don't they? Maybe you'll get a commercial out of this. Maybe you'll be the guy that they'll say, well, you got to wear the Superman shirt. But other than that, all right. Speaking of boots, these are my latest hiking boots. These are actually pretty new, but they're
cool. They kind of look like a Sperry or something on the
studs.
foot.
Well, it actually, Look at this. Look at this. Looks like from here down.
Yeah.
And check it out.
Yeah,
now, this is not Sperry. This is a Justin.
Topsider from there down.
Look at them. They're almost
I know. It's dead on.
But got a good base on them, and they're hikers. They've got this, kind of swooped back, so you can step down on the ground really easily.
Yeah.
And I read reviews of them, and the big complaint about them was that people were saying, well, when I lace them up, it takes me too hard. It's too hard to get them off because they're so snug on my foot. And I'm thinking, wow, last time I checked, snug on your foot is sort of what you're looking for. And I guess you just don't want to spend the time to lace. It takes a while to lace them up. But, man, when you lace them up, they're not coming off. And I don't mind wearing them the whole day. And usually if I put those on first thing, that's what I wear the whole day. And they're great for walking in. They're great for, like you said, working in the garden or cutting the grass. And they're, waterproof. They're waterproof, which really is nice.
Oh, nice. Well, going back to this one for a second, you talked about, you said something about, wouldn't mind wearing them all day or don't get too hot. See, that's why I picked this color, of course, in Texas, because the heat is more intense here than in Mississippi, but the humidity is much worse in Mississippi. But but man, that's the reason I wear this color, because a black boot would kill you in 100-something degree weather.
Yeah,
it would burn you up, man.
That on asphalt, absolutely.
Yeah.
I got something here. Trade off. Now these are really old. Old pair of Nikes, and the reason they're really old, Ron, is I do not buy running shoes anymore because I've stopped running.
Yeah.
It's just too hard on my legs for years. Ran it up until I was, 62, 63. But got too hard on my legs. But so these are just cutting the grass shoes. But the thing that I remember about running shoes, and you don't remember this is a little before your time.
Yeah.
But when I was a senior in high school, you couldn't find running shoes. They were around some places for the only people who had them were like on the Olympic team.
Yeah.
And you go in a shoe store, you couldn't find them. And in high school, I did all my street running in Converse tennis shoes. And then when I got to college, these started showing up. And the first pair I had
the first pair I ever saw in my life.
Yeah, running shoes. Yeah, and you could find them though. They cost a lot, but you could find them. And the first pair I ever had were a pair of blue Pumas, blue with a white Puma stripe. Still make Pumas. You can still find them. In fact, they're making a little resurgence here lately as far as the style. And then the ones I had after that were called Tiger.
I was going to say, I thought I remembered you having those ASIC Tigers.
Right. They changed their name to ASICs, and they're still around and pretty popular. But I had a pair of Tiger shoes that were blue with white stripes, and they used that same style for a couple of years before they started having a variety of styles. But now that's something that boomers can remember. Some boomers can remember coming into existence were running shoes. And, of course, running shoes were kind of the shoe for a long time. That's what everybody liked. they had that mantra, oh, they're so comfortable. Well, no, they really weren't. If you got if you got a pair that really supported your foot, they kind of made your feet tired by the end of the day. But if you were running or doing any kind of athletic activity, they were incredibly comfortable. And man, I was glad to have some. Of course, how fast they took over. I had that one pair the first couple of years I went to college. In the last couple of years, I must have had 7 or 8 pair because I was running it. I transferred out of the junior college and was running over at Delta State, and of course the track team, they gave you shoes, and I had a bunch of them. So that's how fast it expanded. You went from couldn't find any to finding 1 or 2 pair to a closet full of them. They just covered the bottom of my closet by the time I graduated, and of course I couldn't afford them, but the school could, and they gave them to us. So. What do you got? How many more pair of shoes do you have?
Just a little quick story there. When you were talking about the Pumas, it made me think of something shoe related. And now I want to make sure I get this right, so I'll kind of give you an either or, and it's kind of one of those things I have to do a little bit of homework to look it up because I'm not going to tell the whole complete story. But I didn't know this until a few years ago. It's either Adidas and Puma or Tiger and Puma, but it's one of those. I know Puma is definitely one of the ones in the story. Okay, there was these 2 brothers that founded.
It was Adidas.
Adidas. Okay, it was Adidas and Puma that founded. I think maybe it was Adidas first, and then they had a falling out, and the brother went over and did Puma.
Yep.
And so the rivalry.
They ended up hating each other. Yeah. But the
world that's all shoes. So hey,
doesn't matter anymore.
Was it worth the hate? I don't know.
Everybody, maybe it was. But they don't even. The company's been sold and I guess gone public or whatever now, so it doesn't even matter.
I just thought that was really interesting. When I
was
first
a big story.
That.
Well, people would never know that now. I remember the way I found out about it, maybe you did, was they did a big story on it in Sports Illustrated. It was one of those 10 or 12 page stories. And
now, see, I didn't see that. I just saw it like a little clip. I think I saw it online. Now I looked at it and read some more about it.
Oh, that's how shoe contracts came about.
Yeah.
Were those guys. I remember years ago, some guy in the Olympics, and they all do this now, had won their race, and they took their shoes off and they ran a lap with the shoes in hand so people could see the shoes. And now everybody does that. Everybody wins a race, takes their shoes off, and holds their shoes in their hand while they run a lap, and it's so people can see what style shoe they have.
Funny. Okay, here's my next shoe. I wear this one a lot, so it's a little dirty, but it's not a running shoe.
What is
it's a basketball shoe.
What is that, a multi-sport shoe? Or
no, it's actually a basketball shoe. It's if you can see this logo, it's a Kyrie Irving shoe. See the K-I?
I like Kyrie.
Anyway, I got it. I get all my shoes like this, like on sale at like Ross. So I get them for. I never. I'm just like, I'm not paying any more than $30-something for a pair of shoes. Sorry, it's just not happening.
Don't you wear like a 14? What do you wear?
14.
Yeah.
So you can see it in here. I think you can see the 1 and the 4 in there.
Yeah. Hey,
but anyway, I kind of think it's kind of a unique bottom, kind of cool. Now, this is something I kind of like about these shoes. And I like these particularly because when I was having my foot problems, well, I still am, but, even after this one did the best of any of my shoes, but it's got this weird little pocket in there for holding your foot, which I thought was kind of odd, Wow. But it works, and it's got the little odd kind of shaped tongue. But it's a really good shoe. I mean, I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan, but, I tried the shoe on and I'm like, man, this shoe feels great. So I'm a big Kyrie fan.
Hey, I tell you what I've got, Ron. This has got a story behind it. Very quick story. Tassel loafers.
Oh, yeah.
Almost never wear these.
We've talked about them before.
Oh, I like them. I like them, but I don't wear them very often. I don't have any need to wear them. And plus, if you wear them too much, somebody's going to step on the top of your foot and tear your tassel off. But I was at a teacher's meeting one time, and there was this incredibly arrogant lady who was standing up in front of the room, and she kept complaining about teachers wearing tasseled loafers. And I hated her so much that I thought to myself, I have got to get myself a pair of tasseled loafers. So I went out and I bought these. And I wore them occasionally just to make some point that only I got, but that's most of the points that I make. I only get them like like worthless pickles. Only I get that.
Hey, sometimes I'll make jokes or make posts on Facebook when I know there's one person that I know is going to get it, and that one person always gets it. You know, and I'll just sometimes I'll just put a funny out there that I know nobody's going to get but this one person, and I don't care as long as that one person laughs.
Well, sure, that's the way to do it. Hey, Ron, I'm running out of shoes here pretty quick, but
I got two more.
Okay,
I got actually 2 or 3 more actually. So
you've got a pair of boots.
Yep, I was going to
go. Let's have a boot duel.
Yeah.
There you go. Those aren't Tony Lamas. What are they?
No, they are Dan Post.
Dan Post, right? I remember you showing. Well, you still got the cardboard filler in the top there.
Oh yeah, I do them like that because I don't wear them. I don't wear them every day. I just wear them every once in a while, and they're also my. They're since I'm in Texas, they're also my dress shoes. You know that I wear with a suit or something.
Hey, mine are Justin. Middle of the road. I like them.
You can tell I hadn't worn mine a whole lot.
Right. Oh yeah. Mine have got a nice
still, real.
My heels are a little bit run down on these.
Yeah, mine are brand new.
Yeah,
I've got for a few years, but
how many pairs? Do you just have the one pair?
I just have the one pair. That's all I need.
I have 4 pair of cowboy boots. They're my favorite thing to just. I don't wear them all the time, but I wear them at least once a week, and I'm bad to run the heels down. This is a suede pair that I have that is, by the way, a really
That's what happens with my work boots. The heels end up like that.
Yeah, they got a cowboy heel, but they're, but these are called Old West.
Yeah,
and they're really cheap, and I get more compliments on these than anything else I wear, and they look really good.
Yeah.
So if you want, anybody out there is looking for a really cheap pair of cowboy boots, and these are pretty comfortable, the suede ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking less than $100.
Oh yeah,
and they're great. And Justin's are a little more expensive than that.
Yeah.
But I wear them. I like to have. I've used 4 pair because I just rotate them out, and I don't wear the heel down very badly when I do that. And they just last longer, and I just keep my eye out for something on sale. I'm probably going to sit on the 4 for a long time, and I'm sitting here going for a long time. Well, a long time might mean you're dead, but anyway, those are probably the last 4 pair I'll have.
Well, like I said, I've got a couple more. I brought these in here just because I think they're underrated brand. I told you I don't necessarily go looking for shoes. I just kind of go and look and see if in the Ross where I buy all these tennis shoes, if they've got any in my size and if I like them, and I'll go, hey, and my wife Linda will buy me shoes like that, because it's hard for me to find shoes.
Right.
So, but anyway, I guess you've heard of this type of shoe before, but I decided to try them and I really, really like them. B-Lock.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've got 1 pair of those.
Yeah.
A pair of old running shoes.
I really like them. I like them a lot.
Right.
Really, they're kind of an underrated shoe, and I dig them.
They're everywhere, though.
Yeah.
You find them everywhere. I've got a pair of running shoes, and I actually, and that was kind of like you're talking about. They were on sale, and it was just a really good price. And I bought them and didn't try them on too much. I tried them on a little, and they were a little uncomfortable just because I think the size. I should have got a half size bigger, but I can still wear them. I just take my socks off. I don't wear them with socks. So they're like my number 1 yard cutting shoe.
Yeah,
because they're I don't use them for anything else, but they look pretty brand new. So if I need a pair of decent looking running shoes, or I feel like that's what I ought to wear to something, I'll get some really super thin socks and put them on and wear those, and I'm fine. But they are good shoes, and I got a great price on them, like you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
What's your last shoe?
My last one is the one I got on my feet right now. These are like my house shoes because
that's gonna be tough.
But my only one, I need to get some new slippers because my Batman ones are just gone.
They're gone.
But I got to wear these when I had surgery a few years back. And
slides.
The old slides, yeah.
I do not have slides. Yeah. My son likes slides. He has slides.
I love them because I've gotten where I can't stand the flip-flops in between my toe now.
Yeah.
After I got used to these. And plus you can wear socks with them, man,
Right. Yeah. It's
so
not
winter time. See, I could have my socks on right now and put those on, and I don't have to put a full shoe or slippers in, because slippers make my feet hot.
Whoa. And we have to look, so we don't have to look at your toes, as we spoke about earlier. Nobody wants to look at anybody else's feet.
Nobody wants to see that.
With rare exceptions. With rare exceptions.
Nobody wants to see that.
I guess there's a couple of pair of good-looking feet out there somewhere, but they're hard to find.
I've never seen them on a man.
Song of the week. Did you pick one?
Song of the week. You had one. Go ahead and talk about yours, and I had about two I was thinking of. You go ahead.
Well, I thought about it just a little, and there are quite a few songs talking about shoes and boots and that kind of thing, but is there a more iconic footwear song than These Boots Are Made for Walking? 1965 in December, Nancy Sinatra released it, written by Lee Hazelwood, who actually was a good friend of hers, and she sang a duet, several duets with him over the years. And it went to number one in 1966, and just one of the great songs. Still, great song. And Nancy Sinatra, not a great vocalist, obviously Frank Sinatra's daughter, but not a terrible vocalist either, and her voice was perfect for that song. It's also been recorded by people like Megadeth, Billy Ray Cyrus, and Jessica Simpson, so that's a wide variety. It fits into a lot of things. I think it's been on a lot of soundtracks, too. And another one I thought of is Joe South, Walk a Mile in My Shoe, and I just wanted to get
what I was fixing to say.
That was yours? Yeah. Go ahead. How about that? Yeah, those are the good ones. Joe, I don't know what year
I'll add something to yours. There's a technique that was only around for a little while, as far as like it wasn't a it was a video. It was the first ever promotional videos. I think it's called Rotoscope or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, they tried this thing out in the 60s, early to mid 60s. It was like a video jukebox, like they would actually put them in restaurants and bars and things like that. And they made this company made promo videos just for those machines. That's all they were made for. That's all they were meant to be seen on originally. And one of the first ones they did was These Boots Are Made for Walking. And that's why it looks so, you can recognize those clips that went in those, because they're so, the visuals are so clean.
Right.
That's one of the things that'll strike you about the These Boots Are Made for Walking video is how it looks really, the resolution's high. It looks really clean. The colors are vibrant. It's because it was shot for that certain format.
I saw a reference to that in the article when I was doing some research on that, but I didn't read down into it. So I was a little familiar, and I think you can find it on YouTube pretty easily. So I'll have to look for that.
And I tell you who made a lot of them. Not many famous people did them, and of course she wasn't famous other than being Frank Sinatra's daughter at the time. Right. But she wasn't, like a known quantity. So that's why she ended up doing it, because they couldn't really get anybody, good to do one. So they had like
the Beatles were busy.
They were just they got lucky with that one. But the rest of most of the other known ones are, and here's somebody who did many of them. There was this lady that was a platinum blonde and played one of the wives of Flatt and Scruggs on the old Beverly Hillbillies episode. Was a guest star.
Yeah.
And she, always attempted to be a singer, but she was terrible.
Right. Sure.
She wasn't meant to be terrible on the show, but she was just bad. She sang so monotone. I mean, she was gorgeous, but hey, monotone. Yeah. But anyway, I've seen 3 or 4 that she made, and they're so hilariously bad. They're worth a watch.
Worth seeing. Sure.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, Ron, have we wrapped this up?
Sure.
We've started a second season. This is season 2, episode 1 of Boomer Bongo Boulevard. I'm Mike, just Mike. He's Ron, just Ron. And we will do one of these, I guess, maybe next week as well.
Yeah, we can do it next week. We've already got some material.